Per Woj, the Lakers at some point here will start engaging teams again on possible Russell Westbrook trades. Wojnarowski said, 2-minute mark. They paused it essentially at the start of training camp. Typically, it gets a little quiet as teams are putting together their rosters, making their cuts, and then seeing what it looks like playing preseason games. So right here, it makes sense that, Woj basically saying that the Lakers just kind of put trade talks on pause to kind of see, like, what is the team going to look like? What are needs that we may need? Stuff like that. Like, that makes a lot of sense. And we got the reports that the Lakers were just about to do the Indiana Pacers deal going into training camp, but then they decided not to and want to kind of see. So preseason is all about just the eye test, like trying to figure out work sets, see what guys work, what guys don't, what needs does this team need, things along those lines. And the Pacers deal, it's not going anywhere. That's still going to be there. And as time goes on, this deal just becomes more likely to happen at a cheaper value for the Lakers, because as time goes on, Russ's contract just becomes more desirable because now they don't have to pay, $47 million. If you're at the midway point, now you're paying, like $27 million, stuff like that. And then teams like Indiana, they want something for Miles Turner. So as time progresses and they aren't able to find a deal, it's better to get something than nothing because they're just going to lose him next season. So you could probably get away with a little more. And the beauty of Russ is that no matter how bad he plays, he's probably not losing any trade value. But in the same breath, as good as he plays, he's probably not he's not going to gain any trade value because teams aren't trading for him for the player. They're trading for him for the contract. So that's the big thing. Like, a lot of people talk about, like, oh, well, we need him to play good because if he hurts his trade value, stuff like that. That's not going to happen. Like, because teams like the Pacers, the Hornets, teams like that, like, they're not doing the deal for Russ to play Russ. They're doing the deal to unload salary, move off of guys, tank, things along those lines. That's why teams want Russell Westbrook. So Russ's value is not going to go anywhere. It's only going to go up as the season goes on because his contract becomes cheaper and cheaper and cheaper for other teams. And so it would make sense that you're going to see some teams come out of the woodwork and just some teams interested in maybe moving to acquire Russell Westbrook. But I think the biggest factor and why the Lakers need to continue to remain patient is the whole Victor Wembanyama. I mean, I've said this on several occasions here on this channel. He's going to have a lot of teams get players and pieces that they were never going to get for prices that they never were going to get. And that's the Lakers included. A lot of teams are purposely going to fleece themselves in order to go and tank for Victor. So you're going to have a lot of teams. There's like 4 or 5 teams in the West and like 4 teams in the East that are all going to purposely at some point, whether it be, from the get-go, from the jump, or it's going to be at the trade deadline, something along those lines. And you're probably going to have a team or two that's just that pleasant surprise team where, like, they turned out, they thought they were going to be good, but they turned out to be terrible. So they're like, let's just blow it up and try to go get Victor. You're going to have a lot of that this season. You're going to have a lot of teams doing whatever they can. And this wasn't really a huge possibility early on. Like, Rob's patience is really going to pay off here. And granted, I don't think that was part of the plan where it was like, hey, if we're patient, Victor's going to be great. And everybody's going to just want to tank for the bottom, and it's going to be a race for the bottom, so we're going to be able to siphon all these, like, really quality players. That I don't think was ever a thought. But I think after the showcase that, Victor put on in Vegas, I think that changed everything. And the fact that Rob was patient and waited to see what happened, I think that hugely benefits the Lakers, and just like I said, many teams. Many teams are going to be able to get quality role guys or just quality players, period, for a very cheap price than usual because they're just going to want to unload these guys. And the Lakers are going to be able to really capitalize on things like that. Not just that, but, who knows who's the next, disgruntled star or just, all-star type player that is like, hey, I want out. I mentioned Bradley Beal a lot. Bradley Beal's a player that I think is realistic. Portland, too. Does Portland finally just say, hey, Dame, look, because I don't think Portland's going to be good at all this year. And as loyal as Damian Lillard is, I think if the organization went to him and said, hey, you know what, where do you want to go? I believe that he would say, all right, trade me here, or whatever. Now, is that team the Lakers? I don't know. Could it be? Possibly. He very likely is going to want to go to a team that gives him the best opportunity. But, Portland could just end up being terrible and look at it as like, hey, we're not very good. We have Dame, yeah, but why not just embrace the tank, embrace the rebuild, go get Victor, go try to get Victor, trade Dame, get some quality assets, and just hit the reset button. Because they're going to have to sooner or later, and there's very likely in the next, 5 to 10 years at least, is not going to be another Victor Wembanyama. There might not be another one of these for the next, who knows, 100 years. So, that's the thing. Like, if you're if you're the Blazers, or even like I said, the Wizards, if the Wizards aren't very good in the Eastern Conference, do they just say, you know what, let's just trade these guys? Let's trade Kuz, let's trade Beal, let's trade all these guys and just, be done. Like, imagine if the Lakers could get Beal and Kuzma for like both first and Russell Westbrook, because, and look, I know people are going to say, oh, there's no way that teams are going to do whatever it takes to get Victor. Teams are going to give up stuff that they never usually would have. This is not a normal circumstance. This is not a normal situation. So, like, the Lakers may be able to benefit from that. Like, if the Wizards are being terrible, they might look at it as like, hey, we could trade like 3 of our guys, including Bradley Beal, and go get Russell Westbrook, waive Russ, and then have a real chance at Victor, or even Scoot, and just start over. Like, that is a real possibility. So my point is, in general, is the Lakers are going to have options that they wouldn't have had otherwise. The Lakers are going to have deals that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And as the season progresses, those deals are only going to get better, because you're going to have teams that at some point are going to have to make decisions, right? Like Chicago. Like, if Chicago is bad this year, do they just decide like, you know what, hey, let's hit the reset button here? I don't think that they're going to be able to tank fast enough to go get Victor, but maybe they're like, we really like this guy, because this draft in general is supposed to be really deep. So maybe there's a guy that they like and they're like, hey, let's just hit the reset button. You never know. And Rob has been very patient and has done a good job so far. And he still has the assets. There aren't any deals currently that are worth both firsts. So why would you do that deal? You might as well just ride it out and see, because there's very likely going to be some pretty good packages out there that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Even the Hornets deal. Like, if the Lakers could get like PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre, and like Terry Rozier or Gordon Hayward, to me, that's better than the Pacers deal. And you might not even have to give up draft picks at that point, because the Hornets are going to be trying to tank for Victor. You're absorbing all this salary. Like, if you could get those guys and not give up any draft picks, like, that's a pretty good spot for the Lakers to be in. They solve all of their whole issues. They get their wing depth, especially if you get Hayward and Oubre. You get your wing depth solved, and you get a power forward that can give you, a scoring punch, stuff like that. That is young and a future asset, or is a guy that can be traded, that you could use and flip for, somebody else. It's just options out there, like, so say Kyrie does want to come the following year, like Stephen A reported. Well, you could package, say a PJ Washington, those 2 firsts, and, maybe like an Austin Reeves or something like that, and go get Kyrie Irving, and like, there you go. Because if Kyrie's going to leave the Nets are going to want something, because they won't have salary cap to go and sign somebody else. So they might as well get something, a young PJ Washington that, is better than nothing, right? Especially if Kyrie's just going to leave anyway. So my point is, Lakers have a ton of options, and Rob needs to continue to remain patient. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think the Lakers should do a deal sooner rather than later? Or do you think that they should continue to be patient and see what opens up, what ends up being free? But regardless, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, however you feel, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.